Today, we're taking our studio to the next level with plans to, I think, double, potentially triple our workforce. We're assembling a powerhouse team to tackle not one, not two, but 4 brand new game projects at the same time. From simulation to sports, RTS, and FPS, our vision is ambitious and the stakes couldn't be higher. Can we manage this rapid expansion and keep everything on track? Let's dive in and find out. Hello and welcome back to Bamboo Labs and, of course, Software Inc. Now, today I have plans to massively expand our firm. I'm thinking about adding a whole bunch of new teams, but before that can happen, I want to get a couple of things out of the way. Firstly, I want to address our employee benefits. So, if you don't know, you can actually get awards based on how good of an employee you are. We're currently not getting any of those because we're really not offering our employees any benefits whatsoever. So if you come down here to the employee benefits screen, this will pop up. And this is where you can change all of your employee benefits. I'm going to basically add everything that I can. I'm going to give them a $200 a month pension. I'm going to give them $200,000 in life insurance. I'm going to give them $100,000 a year in health insurance, minimum raise. I don't really want to give them a $480 raise per year, but we can drop that down to about $240. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Severance pay, we'll go 200%. We're really not firing anyone very often. We're going to leave vacation at 1 month for now because I feel like that's reasonable. Anything more than that, you have to hire a whole bunch more people. Paid vacation is 100%. Free food, absolutely. Christmas bonus, 100% every year. They can each have a $4,000 car for now. I don't really think they need a $25,000 car at the moment. And then night shift compensation is going to go up to 50% an hour, even though we don't actually have any night teams yet. Then we can go ahead and choose a company car color. It feels reasonable to choose like a nice green. That's sort of the theme we're going with here at Bamboo Labs. That'll do. And hit apply. And that is that. You don't have to worry about ticking these. Actually, you might have to worry about ticking these boxes. These boxes mean that it will apply to everyone in the company. So we're going to go ahead and do that just to be safe and make sure that is working the way that is intended. With that all said and done, we're going to jump into a time lapse right off the gate here. I just want to get Bamboo Odyssey 4 out the door and the Whispering Grove out the door. I'm going to skip through everything else unless anything major happens, and we'll be back once these 2 products have released. So see you in a little bit. Okay, we do actually have something here that is of note. We've got our first hosting deal for Zen Slim, which is an OS. They're offering us $1.01 for every MB per hour. Current bandwidth use is 15 and maximum is 119. If we jump into our servers here, you can see maximum is 119. Our play server only has capacity for 6. They're currently using only 15, so we'd probably be absolutely fine. I think I would, however, like to set up a dedicated hosting server rather than using the SCM or the play server that we currently have. So we'll jump into build mode real quick, turn it to daytime, and we'll go ahead and get another server up and running. And honestly, we should probably make this reasonably large. We can't place this here because we do have the helipad here, something to keep in mind. But honestly, that's probably big enough. 12 servers, I think that's more than reasonable in terms of having a hosting server. We can always add to it later on, but we'll jump back out of build mode, go to the new server, which is server 0, and call this our hosting server. This now has 12 gigabytes or gigabits per second. I can never remember which. Someone did tell me, but I told them I will almost immediately forget. So that is now our hosting server, which means we can accept if we click off and click back on, it should show up our hosting server for Zen Slim. And we can actually do support for it at the same time, which we will absolutely go ahead and do. We are keeping up with all of our support tasks for now, although we did just add 3 brand new ones, so it might be worth having a look at how full our support team is. They currently have 10 people. I think it's about high time we go ahead and hire 5 more. Why not? So S1, this is all set up from last time we did it. Go ahead and have a look. Filter by skill, because that's probably the best way to do it. The other option is to filter by age and just get the youngest 5. And honestly, let's do that. Their skills are all pretty much the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't really care about their traits all that much. Jump back into teams, S1, manage roles, and just put anyone who can sort of do something on secondary and anyone who can't do anything else on nothing. So secondary, nothing, nothing, secondary, nothing, nothing, secondary, secondary, and nothing, secondary, nothing. Perfect. And that'll do. Of course, Bruno, our leader, does not do service predominantly. He is doing leadership, but that is that. We can actually have 1 more employee in this team, and then that room will be full. So let's just go ahead and do that. No new applicants found, which means we don't have to pay for it. Filter by age again, and June Smith, you are also hired. Jump back in here, manage roles, check out June Smith. You're not going to do anything else, please. You can try and learn how to design. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. That should make our support keep up. If you are overwhelmed by the amount of support stuff over here, you can go into filter and turn off deals. I'm going to do that because we do actually have a way of keeping track of whether or not they are keeping up. And that's looking at around 5 p.m. how many queues we have for Bamboo Play, because this is actually last in our list. And that's not considered a deal because that is for our digital distribution. So if we turn off deals, we can still keep an eye on how they're doing. Just make sure to turn that back on whenever you accept a new one and reorder this queue. So that should be fine. We'll leave that there for now. Bamboo Odyssey is coming out in a couple of months. I did end up putting the Odyssey team on the Whispering Grove development just to get this done a little bit quicker because it was lagging behind a little bit more than I would have liked. But with that all said and done, we're going to jump straight back into the time lapse. And just like that, with just those benefits added, we absolutely get first place in Best Employer. And that, if you didn't know, slows hunger and bladder in the room. We also nominated for Best Product, just in case you were curious, and we also win that with Bamboo Odyssey 4. Absolutely fantastic to see. We're now in the bug fixing stage of the Whispering Grove. I'm letting both the Odyssey team and the Whispering team work on that just before we go ahead and start working on Bamboo Odyssey 5. But that is all the updates I have for right now, so we'll be back in a little bit. All right, it is November 1995. The Whispering Grove is coming out today. I believe I set that to print, and I did. Fantastic. We can go ahead now and say you are getting released. So release this. We'll see how we did. We only found some small issues here and there. 4 stars. Yeah, no one knows who we are in this space yet, but everyone thinks it is pretty damn good. So that is fantastic. We also had Basil Davidson's creativity narrowed down to 76 to 77%. So he is above that 75% threshold, which is fantastic. That means if we come in here, creativity on this first one is going to be ordinary, but the second one that he develops, because he is definitely over 75%, it should come out inspiring like Bamboo Odyssey is. So that is good. Marketing should be handled elsewhere, so that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We will, of course, go ahead and update all of the tech levels on this to make sure it is as good as it can possibly be. Choose our tools, and we're going to throw the Whispering Grove team on this as well, get it out the door as fast as we humanly can. And of course, we will also port to any new operating systems that have come out and have some prevalence in the market. So those are our 2 tasks for today. We're also porting Bamboo Odyssey 4 at the moment, so they can finish that off first, but we'll let that run. And then I think I want to pause the game and do some pretty major renovations. mainly in the name of copying and pasting this office over and over again until we have an absolute ton more room for employees. So that port is done. We're just now waiting on the port for the Whispering Grove to be complete. It is the end of the day. They're not going to get that finished today, but that is absolutely fine. We can potentially just add the support task for the Whispering Grove into the Bamboo Odyssey one. I think that's going to be absolutely fine. I don't think it's going to overwhelm. I don't know why this says Sage still. This is not Sage anymore. This is Toby, previously known as Sage. They should be absolutely able to handle the support for that as well, which will be absolutely fine. I'll be curious to see how many sales we get here, just because our market recognition at the moment is for RPG, and this is an adventure game. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Accept all of those. What do you want? Okay, I thought this might happen. Basil Davidson, who is the lead designer on the Whispering Grove, is now requesting, well, I should say demanding, either a luxury meal from a kitchen, which we don't have, or a $300,000 car. And honestly, money is easy right now. Building a kitchen sounds like a pain. So we're absolutely going to go ahead and choose the luxury car, give them a $300,000 car to keep them happy. I just want to double check. We'll pause the game real quick and have a look at Basil here. Basil is this one? Nope, that's not them. We have two Basils. Basil Davidson. We go into their details. They are looking for fixed rate, so they are paid at a fixed monthly rate regardless of how many hours they actually work. They have a non-binding contract, which means they're free to take employment offers from other companies, and they get a luxury car. So yeah, that's pretty decent benefits right there. We're going to keep them on for the moment, but we're going to have to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't demand too much more than that, because that is quite a lot. But how did we do? Not bad. Not bad at all. 2 million in sales on the first month, sold 50,000 units. I could not be happier with that. Hopefully that continues in an upward trend, just like Bamboo Odyssey 4 is. It made us 2.5 million last month. And if we jump into our balance sheet here, we're making good money. We're currently paying 300,000 in HR, 72,000 in maintenance, so around 400,000 total. We're actually almost making that in just our miscellaneous with our dividends and our deals. So that's fantastic. Any of these sales that we make here are basically free. We're also making $280,000 a month from our digital sale. These are not really payments that we have to make. They just come out of our profits. So we're not super concerned about those. An extra 4.7 mil on top of everything else. Absolutely fantastic. I think now is the perfect time to start massively expanding our operation. And to do that, we're obviously going to jump into build mode. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these offices over a couple times, make sure that we still have enough room in our canteen, and we will go from there. All right, that is a lot more office space. The only problem is we only have about half of the capacity in here than we need. So I think I'm going to actually have to add a couple more in, and I'm hoping that I can potentially do something like this right along the edge. And I think that will work out just about okay and get us out of trouble enough that we won't have to worry too much about it. I think I just blocked a door with that one though. We'll have to come back and have a look at that. But we'll see how it goes. So we're just going to throw these in right about here. This is a very full canteen. And yeah, see how many chairs we end up with. We have about 250 chairs for employees. And yeah, like I thought, this one is covered by the door, but we can go ahead and move that door. That definitely does not need to be right where it was. That is absolutely fine. We should probably go ahead and also add in some more lights in here. I'm not going to be super precise with it. I'm just going to sort of do vibe checks and put it right about where I think they need to be. And that should be fine. This one actually should probably just move down a little bit. Something like that. That is our canteen. If we go ahead and say that is 156 chairs. I can't remember how many we had, but if you do want to know how many chairs you have in a building, go ahead and right click basically anywhere, select the entire building, shift click the room that you don't want to count the chairs in, shift click a chair, right click on that chair and do select furniture types in selected rooms. That will select every single chair in the entire building. We have 250. I think that'll be okay in here. How many do we have? We had 156. So there's about 100 people without a chair. I think they'll be okay. The only thing that I'm slightly concerned about is the amount of fridges we have may not be enough. May not be enough at all. And I honestly don't really know what to do about that. I might just leave it to run for now. I don't know how many this can. Yeah, this holds 5. So if we have 250 employees, that is 50 fridges. So that's good. These hold 20 each. So we could potentially put some more vending machines in if we needed to. That is 20, 40, 60, 80 plus 6 times 5 is 30. That's like 110. So we basically need to double this. I think we can manage that actually. Let's go ahead and delete these and then select all of the tables, excluding these ones. Shift click to unselect them. Go to our overhead view, hit M to move, and then we're just going to move these up a little bit to around about there. Everything did move correctly except for this one. I believe that's just because we put it slightly in the wall. So we'll move that up to there. And then we can basically just go copy you guys, you guys. Copy that, rotate it twice, and throw that V maybe? Nope. They're not going to sit nicely, are they? Put them in manually. Hopefully they all stick in. One didn't. These guys need to move over a little bit. That's annoying. Move them to there, should be fine. Copy that. Go that way. Make sure this fridge is facing the correct direction. And then I think I am going to actually go ahead and put in some more vending machines as well. So we're going to do this one at a time, otherwise it doesn't show you whether or not you can actually place it. We're going to get them as close as we possibly can to the other ones. Just going until it turns red, going back a click, and that should be fine. These ones need to move back a little bit further as well. Doing them one at a time will definitely help here. And I'll just move this one out of the way first. Sometimes this can be a little bit fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. And now these are in the way. Okay, I'm going to start with this one instead, and we'll go from that side over. Just like that, just like that. And now I could get another one in there, but I'm not going to. Instead, we'll put in another water cooler, and I think we'll call it good at that point. That can go there. We also don't need these coffee machines anymore. We're going to replace those with fridges, just because I think we're going to need them. And that is our brand new canteen. Very, very high capacity. We've got 10 vending machines, which will feed 200 people. And I believe we have, what's that, 6? Yeah, we have more than 10 fridges. So that should, in theory, be enough to feed this entire building. Now, what kind of teams do we want to hire? That is the question. Let's jump back into build mode so that we can actually see. Toggle on Y. And, well, actually, no, I lied. We're going to go to develop software and we're going to go to game. I think we want to get a team in for a simulation game, a sports game, an RTS game, and an FPS game. So I'm going to go ahead and find some names for those. And then, yeah, we're just going to hire a bunch of people. I might do this as a time lapse because you guys have seen me hire teams before. It's going to be absolutely no different. We'll get all of those up and running. It's going to be quite a long time lapse. apologies if you are photosensitive. I would recommend skipping ahead on this one. But yeah, we'll get that all set up and running, and then I'll take you through everything we've got going on. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so mistakes were clearly made in this decision. I should have done this month by month because our talent pool for hiring really isn't as big as we need it to be. Unfortunately, Clawfire here, which is our FPS game, is going to have to be delayed by a month, which means we'll have to give them a slightly bigger team in order to get this done in time. I think we'll be okay, but for right now, it's a little bit interesting and we might have to do some wacky things to pull off these deadlines that we've set ourselves here. I did go ahead and hire 4 new teams. We've got Clawfire, we have Dash, we have Clash, and we have Tycoon. So we have Panda Dash is our sports game, Bamboo Tycoon is our simulation game, Clash of Claws is our RTS game, and Clawfire is our FPS game. Now, of course, we need to jump back into build mode and go ahead and assign all of those people some officers. So we'll start with Clash over here. Make sure that we are also assigning the leader room to be leader. And we'll go through and do this for each of the teams. So Clawfire is next. This is leader only. And this will be Dash, I believe. And this will be leader only. Easy as. And these last 2 will be for Tycoon, and this will be leader only. Now we'll also go ahead and select each one of these brand new meeting rooms and make sure they are assigned to be meeting only. And that should be about it for right now. We also do have 2 empty rooms down here that we can utilize at some point. I'm assuming these are going to be marketing, but we'll get to that when we get to it. For now, we're not doing any of our own marketing. I just don't think it's worth it at this stage of the game. Now, everyone should come in just fine for the 3 teams that we did hire people for. We hired a leader for Clawfire, but they're really not going to do much. I'm not even going to assign that yet. We do need to make sure we're assigning the appropriate leads to these games, though. So we have Tammy Rhodes here, 70% to 97%. I think she's going to be the creative lead on this one. Then down here, we don't really have anyone particularly amazing. Maureen potentially is going to be over 75%, but we'll have to wait and see. Clash of Claws is even slimmer pickings. We're going to go ahead and try it on Ward. He's still got 100% available, so you never know. He could be absolutely fantastic. And we're going to leave it there. We're not going to assign Clawfire to anyone just yet, and we'll see how that goes. But in saying that, our 2 main original teams still don't have anything to do. So we are going to go into our releases and set up sequels for them as well. And we'll have 6 projects going at once. So I'll do a time lapse as I set these up. Like I said before, you've seen this 100 times before, if not more. Probably not in this playthrough, but you know what I mean. You've seen this before. So if you need a refresher on how to set up sequels and things like that, go and check out some of the previous videos in this series. But I'm going to set these up and we'll be right back. Okay, scratch that. I'm not going to set them up just yet unless we can potentially set up the Whispering Grove. If we use our existing framework for the Whispering Grove, yes, this is currently up to date, but we do need to go ahead and update Bamboo Odyssey in order to get our framework up to date. So we'll go ahead and get this one done and be back in a sec. All right, so the Whispering Grove 2 is in the works. We will go into our releases, go to the original Bamboo Odyssey here. make sure that we update the tech levels, get that done, and then once that has completed, we can go ahead and start working on Bamboo Odyssey 5 as well. We're going to take the Whispering Grove off of that team and go ahead and update that. I'm going to move that right to the top of the list to make sure they finish that nice and quickly. We'll start the simulation and see how we go. This office should start looking rather full rather quickly. I'm hoping people take breaks at different times so that we don't have any problems there. We do have a new hosting deal, which we are definitely going to accept, as well as a printing deal. Go ahead and accept that as well. Bamboo Odyssey is almost updated, 95, 97, so close and finished. So now we can jump back into Bamboo Odyssey 4, go ahead and make a sequel for that using our existing Bamboo Odyssey framework. And now all of the tech levels are up to date, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Go ahead and add in all of the things that we need to add. Next page, analyze the market. Simple as. Graphics, we still can't get 3D graphics, so this is going to have to do. 100% expected interest, absolutely fine. Lead designer is going to be... These are the wrong teams. Design team should be Odyssey, and this team should also be Odyssey, and that means the lead designer is going to be no other than myself with 75% creativity. And that should be good to go. Go ahead and make sure we choose a publisher. Brainwordy, they're down to 0% after they recoup their money, which is absolutely fantastic. Yes, I don't really care about the deadline. We should be more than fine there. We do have more designers than we need, but that's fine. Go ahead and develop that as well. We'll move these up to the top because they are the earliest releases. Not that it super matters all that much. We can go ahead and minimize that. Plotting for this can be minimized as well, just so we can see things a little bit better. And as soon as we get around to January, we'll go ahead and hire a team for Clawfire as well. I did have to get a little bit creative with my hiring just because we were running out of people, so I did have to hire some low salary people. I'm hoping that doesn't affect us too badly. Don't try this at home. If you are planning to do major expansions like this, spread it out over a couple of months because the way that I just did it was not the way to do it. Support deal was cancelled. That's fine. They were bought out. We don't care about that. We've got so many support deals. We don't really mind. That was the wrong button. I did accept a new deal, so I need to make sure that is all the way up above, where is it? Yeah, above the Bamboo Play support. That'll be fine. We'll go ahead and hide those deals again. This should be up there. This should be like up there. Perfect. That should be all set up and ready to go. They are designing. Everything is working out well. It is January and I completely forgot to hire people. So let's jump in here and see how many people we need. We need 5 designers, 8 programmers, and 2 artists. We'll start with programmers, secondary in design, high, system, 2D, and audio. Filter by compatibility with the Clawfire team. Go ahead and begin looking. These guys all look fantastic to me, so you are all officially hired. Jump back out, go to designer / programmer, system, 2D, and audio. Grab you guys. None of you are exclusive, which is fantastic. We'll go ahead and hire all 3 of them. Jump back in, switch these around to programmer and artist at still high. System, 2D, and audio again. Begin looking, and they all look fantastic to me. That is 9 people total. Go ahead one more time with programmer and designer at medium salary, system, 2D, and audio, and that should be good. What do we have so far? If we manage our teams, this is Clawfire. Manage roles. Uncheck everything for everybody. You can do that stuff. And you're all programmers predominantly, except for you 2. You guys are all designers, but you can do programming as well. That'll be fine. You guys do art. Everyone else can do it as well if they so please. That means we have 3, 6, 7 programmers. We need 1 more. We have 3 designers. We need 2 more, and we should be good on art. So we'll sort for designers probably, and go from there. So designer and programmer, system, 2D and audio. Begin looking and see what we can get. Now, because these guys are a little bit cheaper, we want to pay attention to more what they can do. This guy has a fixed rate, so we don't really want that at all. This guy looks pretty good. He can do system and 2D and a little bit of art. So you are hired. You're not bad. You can do everything we need you to do. Hired. And yeah, you're not bad either. So you are officially hired. Jump back into our manage roles there. And basically anyone who is black across the board is new to the team. So we'll make sure we check what they can and can't do. Secondary there, and that should, in theory, be enough to get started. Now, I left that a little bit too late, so they probably won't come in today, but we are going to assign these guys to Clawfire and S1. S1 is still helping in the background if we need them. And we'll assign a lead. This is really just a random lottery at this point, but we'll go ahead and give Andrea Gibson a try. 46% to 100%. She has a little bit of game design knowledge, so let's see how that goes. And hopefully, that all being said and done, we should be good to let the game run and see just how much money we start to lose. Because we did hire a lot of people. You can see our wages jumped from $318,000 a month to $1.7 million. Thankfully, we do still have the sales to pull that off. We are also getting offers for our IPs. I think I will at this point turn that off because I don't really care about seeing them anymore. Go ahead and continue accepting print jobs, and I'm going to let this run for a little bit and I'll come back if we have any hiccups down the road. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm just looking at this. I organized these in the time that they need to come out. So this is 1997. It's coming along nicely. We'd expect the Whispering Grove and Bamboo Odyssey 5 to come along nicely. Panda Dash, I think, is the first one that I hired, so they probably have the most skilled people. But Clawfire coming out next in July of 1998 is a little bit concerning to me, as well as Bamboo Tycoon and Clash of Claws. So with that said, I want to go ahead and have a look at those teams. So Clawfire here has 13 people. We can hire another 3 for that, and I think we will absolutely go ahead and do that. So this is for the Clawfire team. We want designer, programmer, potentially the other way around. Programmer and designer. Definitely want high salary, system, 2D and audio. Go ahead and look in here, and we can hire 3 people. And I think we're going to hire all 3 of these guys just to get the ball rolling that little bit more. Service should be off for everyone. This is a new person, this is a new person, and this is a new person. I'm actually going to turn these guys to black on design if they're halfway decent at it, and halfway decent at art if they can. That should fill out that team entirely. That should make that go a little bit quicker. As soon as we hit the next month, I'll do the exact same for Bamboo Tycoon. And then the month after that, I'll do the same for Clash of Claws, just to hopefully get these products out on time. We should also just double check that we didn't get a better lead designer while we're in that process. It doesn't look like we did, so we'll leave that there. And we'll jump straight back into the time lapse. Okay, so this is also a little bit interesting. Bamboo Tycoon already has 16 people in it. They're doing okay, but I'm a little bit scared. I think we might, in this situation, go ahead and set up another team for Bamboo Tycoon. So this will be Tycoon 2. We'll add them. That'll be a brand new team. And then in terms of the schedule, they can vacation whenever they want. But in terms of their actual schedule, they are going to start work at 6 p.m. and work all the way through till 2 a.m. That is a good way to get more people into one office. So if we come in here, jump into build mode just so that we can see, turn on our labels. That was the Tycoon team. So we'll go ahead and switch this team and have them be Tycoon and Tycoon 2 in those rooms. Jump back in here and then go ahead and hire a lead for that team. So that can be lead, nothing selected for the secondary role. We want HR and we want automation ideally, but probably not. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. And we'll begin looking for someone in there. Now we have a little bit of socialization, a little bit of multitasking. I think we're going to go with, does anyone have some really good skills in anything? This guy can program and do art. This guy can design. I think I'd rather a designer. So this lady can design, I should say. So this is Bonnie Tyler. You are coming into the Tycoon 2 team. You are our lead. We'll jump into our manage teams. Go ahead and manage roles. You are now our leader. Turn everything else off for now. Set up our HR management. Don't change that. Education amount 3, 1, and we'll do hiring ourselves. And then we can jump in and hire some more employees. So I'm going to go for programmer designer for this team. They're going to be high. It will be the Tycoon 2 team, system, 2D, and audio, just like before. And we've got 2 people here. You guys are both hired. And then we will switch these around, go designer and programmer, system, 2D, and audio. Begin looking. You guys are both pretty good as well. You're both hired. And then we'll go for some programmers and designers at a medium level. System, 2D, and audio, and we'll get a couple of these guys in as well, like 3 of them, and that will be fine, I believe. So that should help us out with Bamboo Tycoon, and then we need to worry about Clash of Claws tomorrow. They can still have 3 more people, so we'll go ahead and hire those guys in the next month, and hopefully that works out just fine. We are spending a lot of money on salaries, but we're about to cross over 100 million. We're still making profit. This is making us about 4 million a day. This is making us about 2.2, so we should be fine. We have the bandwidth to do this. It's just a little bit scary. I probably shouldn't have done all of this in 1 month. Lesson learnt. This is a tutorial series, but do as I say, not as I do. It's coming up to midnight, so we'll leave this running for just a second and then hire some people for the Clash of Claws team. 3 more people to be precise. Also, Tycoon 2 team didn't get their roles done, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. The way I like to do this, black for anyone who's good at stuff. Black for anyone who's good at stuff. They can't do programming and designing at the same time. Like you go into the design phase and then the programming phase. So I don't mind having these all black as well. And everyone in here is pretty much good enough to do basically everything. Our leader can also do a little bit of art. So we'll leave that in there. And then everyone else, if they've got nothing else to do, can also help with the art. So that'll be fine. It is the next day. We'll go ahead and hire some more employees to our Clash of Claws team. Looks like they need more designers than anything else. So we'll go ahead and search for designer, programmer, high, Clash, system, 2D, and audio. Begin looking. We get 2 people here. This guy's on a fixed rate, which isn't the worst thing. He also potentially is a great lead designer. You are officially hired, and then we will switch these around to programmer, designer, system, 2D, and audio, and just hire one of these guys. You can do a little bit of art, so you are officially hired. Manage roles, go in and change these up a little bit. That's secondary, and that is secondary, and I don't want anyone doing service. So hopefully, fingers crossed, with those little adjustments that we made there, these will all get done somewhat on time. Fingers crossed. We might have to borrow a couple of people from the Whispering Grove or Bamboo Odyssey teams to get this done, but I'm hoping it'll be okay. I'm going to jump back into a time lapse as we get a whole bunch of this done. I'm not going to take any more support requests because I feel like having the S1 team support these guys is a good decision. We don't get best employer. which is interesting, considering we have major benefits for basically everyone. We do, however, get best product, which is fantastic to see. Employee benefits should be good. If we just like check all these boxes, maybe it doesn't apply to new people, and say apply. Maybe we'll get it next year. We'll keep an eye on that. But we'll jump back into the time lapse as we continue to develop these softwares. I did forget. I'm sure you guys were yelling at me, but I forgot to assign the Tycoon 2 team to the actual thing, so they were just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. That's my bad, and yeah, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. I'm just going to pause real quick. So like I said before, these are in the order that they need to come out. Bamboo Tycoon, because of that extra team that we hired, is doing a lot better in terms of its progress. So I'm actually going to lend the Tycoon 2 team to Clawfire, just in hopes that they can catch up a little bit, and then I'll take the Tycoon 2 team off of Bamboo Tycoon. But everything is going okay. This is coming out in October. It's March, and we're currently not in the beta phase yet, but we are right about now, so we should still be okay. I'm going to set these to a maximum of 500,000. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And that should be good. This is due in January, so we should be fine there. Still rocking on with some print jobs and things like that. Clawfire is about to jump into the alpha stage, so we'll go ahead and develop that. Because I didn't assign anyone to these at the very start, make sure you go ahead and actually assign them to the correct teams. So this is Clawfire S1, and like I said, I'm going to lend them the Tycoon 2 team for now, and that should be fine. They should crack on as soon as this jumps up. Actually, they can probably just have the Tycoon 2 team until these both come out, and that'll be fine. And yeah, it's all looking okay. We're getting through it. It was a little bit touch and go there for a minute, but I think we'll be okay. Whispering Grove 2 is in beta. Panda Dash should be in beta soon. We'll do a quick review there. Also do a Bamboo Odyssey V review. Make sure these are all looking good. That's a 10 out of 10. Perfect. This one is a 9.9 out of 10. Absolutely perfect. Next one we have to review is Clawfire. But yeah, this is going surprisingly well considering that we hired 4 teams all on the same day. Okay, so Clash of Claws is actually meant to come out the same time that Bamboo Tycoon does, so they are relatively far behind. I'm going to now switch the Tycoon 2 team from Clawfire to Clash of Claws and take them off of here because Clawfire is going a lot better at this point, and that should keep up, I hope. It is June. This is coming out in October. We need to keep an eye on that. I'm also making sure that we are setting up jobs whenever something goes into beta, so don't stress about that. But we'll jump back into the time lapse. These should be getting pretty close at this point. Clawfire is ready to be promoted. We'll make sure we set a print job for that. I like to do 500,000, just keeps us safe. Hopefully they sell. If they don't, it's not the biggest loss in the world. Still not the best employer. I feel like we're going to have to start offering people some real luxury cars in order to get that up any higher. Most profitable product, 3rd place. That's not too bad. But like I said, we'll jump back into the time lapse as these slowly start to come out. Okay, we've had a little bit of an issue here. We added a bunch of computers and didn't hire any extra staff. We currently only have 2 cleaning staff, which is definitely not enough. Let's go like add 4 more of them. They start at 8, you start at 12. So yeah, we'll go 2 at 8 and 2 at, was that 12 p.m? Yeah, 12 p.m. 12 p.m. That'll be fine. Yes. That's 6 cleaners, and in terms of IT, let's sort by this way. We currently only have 1 IT person coming in, so let's get a couple more of them. Where is IT? 2 more IT. We'll have 1 come in at 7, 1 come in at 5, and 1 come in at like, I don't know, 1 p.m. Should be fine. When are our breaks, working hours? We have a break between 4 and 5, so I should probably actually have you come in at 4. You guys can come in at 3 a.m. is probably more beneficial. And we'll have 2 at 3 a.m., 1 at 4 p.m. and that should hopefully work out a little bit better. We also don't need any of these cleaners to leave when they're finished anymore. Maintenance, let's not get them to leave. We'll hire 2 more maintenance people to come in at 5 as well. Actually, maintenance people can sort of work around people, but we'll get them to come in at 4. That'll be fine. Receptionist is fine and security should be okay. We'll leave it there for now. That should fix itself slowly. We can also potentially just call a couple of IT people to come in and fix that problem, which they have. Fantastic. Everything is running somewhat smoothly. We need to do a review on Bamboo Tycoon. It's at this point of the game where this becomes a little bit unmanageable that you want to start thinking about project management. 9.7, absolutely happy with that. Bamboo Odyssey V still isn't in its beta phase, which is a little bit concerning, but we should be okay. Yeah, we'll be back in a bit. And we have had our first official retiree. Gavin Joseph, working on the Odyssey team, has retired, and we definitely want to replace them. They were pretty much good at everything, which is a little bit unfortunate to see, but it sort of is what it is. So that is the Odyssey team. If we go into hire people here, I imagine he was probably a designer first, just based on the fact that he has 3 stars in a bunch of these, and then programmer. So we'll go designer, programmer, high. This is for the Odyssey team, system, 2D, and audio, I assume. We'll throw network in there just because I feel like that's going to be relevant soon, as well as 3D. Hardware is not really going to be that much of a thing for us ever, so we'll begin looking there and try and get the best candidate we can. These guys want to be an exclusive lead, which we absolutely don't want to be. ChubbyPanda is our exclusive lead on that team, so it looks like we are looking at Nicholas Massey. They look pretty good. They've got a little bit of network skill, but not a ton. They should train up over time. They are 47 years of age. You're officially hired to replace Gavin Joseph. So if we jump into the Odyssey team, we need to make sure that we set up his roles. That's basically just as simple as setting him to only do art if you've got nothing else to do, and that should be fine. Jump straight back into the time lapse and we'll go from there. Bamboo Tycoon about to hit beta. Clash of Claws lagging a little bit behind, but they do have that night team working on that as well. Whispering Grove 2 is coming back today, or coming out today. I did say I was going to jump into a time-lapse. This is clearly not a time-lapse, but we are going to go ahead and release Whispering Grove 2, get something off our plate. Hopefully this is a big hit. 5 stars there, 5 stars here, and 3 stars. We'll count that as a win. That is officially out. We need to go ahead and update that to the latest tech level using the, what is this? Whispering Grove team. That there, update that, choose our 2D editor, it doesn't really matter which one, go ahead and update, and then we'll open this up, close this one out as the Whispering Grove 1 really dropped off in sales. Make sure that we are porting it to whoever we can with the Whispering team. Active 1.3 million active users, and those other 2 as well. That'll get done somewhat quickly, and that will be good. But you know what? I have currently been recording for 1 hour and 40 minutes, which I think is the longest time I've ever recorded a Software Inc. video. There was a lot of time lapses, so that makes sense. But I'm going to leave it there, and we are going to release every single one of these products in the next episode. We also have, oh hell yeah, Basil Davidson is officially inspiring creativity. Absolutely what we want to see. fantastic. But yes, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure to leave a like if you did like the video. Leave a comment for the sake of engagement. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our merch store, link in the description. But until next time, happy building, happy developing. Bye, guys.